What's up, guys? Okay, I want to show you a mod for a 110 Conibear, and all you're going to need is 2 pieces of wood from a stick that is about the size of your index finger, both in length and width, so around 4 inches or less, about a ½ inch wide. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do is tie these to the tree like this, and there's going to be an angled cut on each end. It's going to allow the Conibear to fit underneath it. Okay, so first thing we want to do is establish a bottom on these. We can do that easily enough just by shaving a flat side. That's really all you have to do. It doesn't have to be like totally flat, and if your pieces are angled at all, find the way it bows and make the arc of the bow the bottom. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Okay, so then once you have your bottoms, just cut the ends into like a point, sort of, more of like a blade, if you know what I mean. So instead of coming to a point, it's just tapered. And you kind of want to come to about an inch from the middle, and then at the very end you really want to taper it so you can almost scoop it out. So see how that looks? And the very tip, you don't want hardly any material on the very end. So like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, and do the same to the other side. Well, got off of angle a little bit, but I can fix that, no problem. Okay, so you see how that looks there? And then reestablish our bottom so we know our bottom is pretty flush. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. And then on the top, we just want to do a little beaver chew. You can do this with your saw. That's just a groove that's going to catch that rope and allow the rope to really hold it in there. Like I said, you can make that groove with your saw. So you do that for both pieces. I just did it for the one here. That's what it looks like. So just taper it on each side, beaver chew on the top, flatten on the bottom. And what that's going to look like is this, your end product. So just took a piece of bank line, tied it around. 2 pieces are pushed into each other. Now for more stability, you can put a buffer piece in there if you want, in between the middle, so you have 3 sticks. It doesn't even need the hat to be the same as these, because you just need these 2 on the ends for support. If you wanted to do 3 of those, you can. You could even take a big piece of wood and plane it out so that it's wide enough to where you just need 1 piece of wood. But you know, you just do 2 of these real quick. That's the easiest way. Now, one thing that I like to do is find a secondary branch like this, because it's going to hold that spring and it can be a tie-off point. So you just wrap the chain or the rope or whatever around that, and it gives it 2 points of support. If you just have it on here like that, without, like if you just had it up here so the spring wasn't supported, it's not going to be as stable. So if something comes through, it could move and wiggle off. Still probably going to get them, but I like this because it's really secure. And then I took a stick in there and jammed it in, so nothing would be inclined to like stand over here and try to lean in, and it's not going to go around, it's going to go straight through. I have bait on here because I like to bait my traps, but you can leave it as a blind set if you want. And it's just the same principle of a squirrel pull, you know. They come up and down the tree. It's a 45-degree log or so. They're running up and down. They're going to come through. But this allows you to put the conibear right in the middle of the tree, as opposed to snares, which in my experience don't work all that well. Alright, so again, that's what those look like. And to talk a little bit about the design of them, so we taper those so that the jaws can fit under and wedge under and kind of cinch down, and then they're held in there. If you just used if you didn't carve the stick out, they wouldn't really fit. So when it goes off, there's just, you can even carve this to where like there's no lip or edge. It's just like right there. It doesn't really matter because this will have kind of an arcing path that it comes up, so it's not going to get hung up on there. If it did get hung up, nothing's going to keep this trap from closing. So all it would do is, like, if this jaw got hung up, this one would come down to meet it, and then this one would fly up around there, as opposed to them just closing equally on both sides. But nothing's really going to stop it. And like I said, if you're concerned about that, just flush that off and shave that off, and you're going to be fine. So just to show you what it looks like, let's see, the animal's coming through that way. I'm not going to stick it in that way. I guess I can. Doesn't really matter. And then it's caught. And since it's secured over there, it can't really come off very easily. So you can see it didn't affect it at all when it closed. Maybe we can try to reset it here. So you can just, there's a couple ways you can go about closing it. You can just set it around there like that. Now, since it's at an angle, this thing's going to want to come undone on you. So it's extremely important that when you let go, you hold on so it doesn't clamp on your hand. So you can set it like that, or you can even set it first, slide it on parallel, so the sticks would go in like that, and then just turn it, and it'll lock into place. So either way you want to do it, it'll work. But this is a nice trick if you want more versatilities with your conibears, because I mean, you could even set it up like this vertical if you wanted. It gives you a lot of versatility for where you can put those. And I saw a guy, he did this with like some piece of a metal lid or something and screwed it in. But you just need natural materials. If you didn't have bank line, you could use natural cordage. It doesn't even need to be that strong. It just needs to be strong enough to hold that conibear down. It's not even load bearing. It's just to kind of keep it in place. And the only other thing you need is a stick and a knife. So it's really easy to make these. And you can make it in about 5 minutes. So you could do all your traps in an hour or less. Alright guys, that's it on this mod. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.